A support vector machine drew one clean dividing line. But think about how you actually make decisions in real life. You don't solve an equation, you ask a series of simple questions. Is it bigger than this? Is it cheaper than that? Each answer narrows things down. That is exactly how a decision tree works, and it might be the most human, most readable model in all of machine learning. Let's set up 3 classes this time, scattered across 2 features. A decision tree is going to sort any new point into one of them, not with a formula, but with a flowchart of yes or no questions. So the real question is, what should it ask and in what order? It starts with a single question about one feature, something like, is feature 1 less than 5? That one question slices the whole plane into 2 halves with a straight axis-aligned cut. Everything on one side goes left, everything on the other goes right. Simple. Then it does the very same thing again, inside each half. Another question, another cut. Maybe this time along feature 2, and again and again. Each split carves the space into smaller and smaller rectangles until each rectangle is mostly a single class. That nested set of cuts is the tree. And we can draw it as an actual tree. The first question sits right at the top, the root. Each answer sends you down a branch to the next question, and so on until you reach a leaf at the very bottom that simply says, this is the class. To classify a new point, you just walk it down the tree, answering as you go. But how does it pick each question? It tries many possible splits and measures how pure the resulting groups are. A split that cleanly separates the classes, all blue on one side, all amber on the other, is a great split. A messy mixed split is a poor one. It greedily takes the cut that reduces the mixing the most, a measure called Gini impurity, and then repeats. There is a catch though. If you let the tree keep asking questions forever, it will eventually carve a tiny box around every single point, memorizing the training data, noise and all. That's overfitting. So we rein it in, usually with max depth, keeping the tree shallow enough to catch the real pattern without obsessing over every last dot. In Scikit-Learn, it's wonderfully short. Decision tree classifier with a max depth to keep it sane, then fit, predict and accuracy score. And here's a lovely bonus, plot tree will draw the whole flowchart for you. One more nice thing, trees don't care about feature scale at all, so there's no scaler needed this time. Let's write it. Here's the entire program, and good news, it's short enough to fit on a single page this time, with every line in view. Let's just read it from top to bottom. The imports: make blobs for the data, and from sklearn.tree, 2 things: decision tree classifier, that's the model, and plot tree, the helper that draws the diagram, plus the usual split and accuracy score. And notice there's no standard scaler here because trees genuinely don't need it. We make 3 blobs this time, 300 points spread across 3 classes. Having 3 classes makes the tree branch in a far more interesting way than a simple 2-way split would. We split it 80-20 with a fixed random state, exactly as always. Nothing surprising. Here's the model, decision tree classifier. And the important argument is max depth equals 3. That caps the tree at 3 questions deep, which is what keeps it from overfitting. Then we fit, and the tree works out the best questions all on its own. We predict on the test set and score it, around 95%. Short and familiar by now. And now the fun part, plot tree draws the actual decision tree with filled equals true coloring each node by its majority class. Pelt.show pops it open, and you can literally read the model's logic one question at a time. And that's the decision tree, a flowchart of simple questions, carving the space into clean regions, and completely readable from top to bottom. Its one real weakness is overfitting, if it's allowed to grow too deep, and that weakness leads us perfectly into the next idea. What if we grew a whole forest of trees and let them vote? That's the random forest next time.